New product alert, Neve Gear have just released their latest quilt, the Waratah UL 4-degree summer quilt. It's their lightest quilt yet, using the same 850 fill power duck down as the regular Waratah, but with approximately 100 grams less fill, as well as some extra weight saving features and a new strap system. So let's dive into the details. So, for anyone who doesn't know Neve Gear already, they're a Sydney-based company with a focus on making UL gear. Their Waratah quilts are what they're best known for, and they've built a big fan base off the back of these. The new UL quilt means that they now have a range of temperatures, from the -8 all the way through to 4 degrees. Temperature ratings are dependent on so many factors that it's actually really hard to compare between brands. This quilt has actually quite a lot more fill than other comparable temperature rated bags or quilts. And if you read about these online, you'll find a lot of people raving about the Neve Gear quilts being really true to their temperature ratings. So we'll have to wait and see for this one, but generally they're quite accurate. A couple of things to point out about Neve Gear quilts that they're known for doing especially well is the baffle design. So as you can see, the top part of the quilt uses a vertical baffle design, and then the bottom part uses a horizontal baffle design. Now the idea behind this is that all of the baffles are about the same length, and it really just stops down migration going down to the quilt when it's stored. Another benefit of this is that Neve Gear are able to overstuff the toe box, which just really keeps you warm as your feet are often one of the things that makes you super cold overnight. Another thing that they do, while some quilts will just sew all the way through in their baffle, which leaves really thin areas that can allow you to get cold, the Neve quilts actually have a piece of fabric in there so it keeps them loft even between the baffles, which just really stops any cold spots and keeps you warm through the night. As a quick summary of the idea behind quilts, it's that you don't get any benefit from the down that's under you in a sleeping bag, so why not save that weight and allow for more flexibility and a bit more movement underneath it as well. The main negative people talk about is that they can allow drafts through, and that's why all of the clips and zips and pad straps exist that I'll talk you through in a minute to try to stop this. And most quilt users would agree that they really do this and rave about the flexibility, which is why they've become so popular in the UL hiking scene. In terms of the key specs of the Neve Gear Waratah UL 4-degree quilt, it weighs 450 grams, with 295 grams of that being the 850 fill power duck down. All these numbers are confusing, so to break it down for you, fill power is the insulative quality of the down. Decent quality hiking gear generally ranges from about 650 to 1000 fill power, with the higher the number meaning the more insulation you'll get for the weight. The quality of down is only one part of the equation though, with the other part being how much down is in the actual product. So as I mentioned, 295 grams of 850 fill power down, you're getting a good amount of high quality down for a quilt with this temperature rating. This high quality down also allows it to compress down to 3.1 litres of volume when packed in your bag, which again is quite small for the warmth rating. Coming in at $329 to $349 Australian, depending on the option. So it's got a 5'6", a 6 foot and a 6'6" option, which is generally true to length. Everything's included in this original purchase, meaning that it comes with the straps, clips, and dry bag, as well as a storage bag. In terms of the fabric, the outer is made from a smooth 7 denier fabric, designed to be comfortable on the skin, but also lightweight in your pack and durable enough to last you years. It's a slightly lighter fabric than you'll see on the regular and the Pro Waratah, which both used a 10D fabric, and it feels super smooth to the touch. So while this probably won't be a super noticeable change, it should improve comfort slightly with very little downside. The neck and foot box both have draft collars, the same as the previous Waratahs, as they're tried and tested, and these add extra warmth and seal out drafts around the main spots where they could occur. The pad attachment system uses an elastic cord and clips on each side of the quilt to keep it secure on a sleeping pad and lock out those drafts I mentioned on cold nights. So the quilt comes with one of these straps included, which is actually redesigned on the Waratah UL to be lighter, but also to allow the quilt to move around slightly more with your body, as well as be a bit smaller and less likely for you to feel it underneath you. The clips come on the strap itself, but I found it much easier to clip these onto the quilt itself and then just remove the straps every time you use it. My recommendation would be to do the same, but it works either way. So I'll leave that up to you. So the quilt comes together using snap closures throughout, and a drawcord neck closure adds extra warmth. The snap closure system is also different from the previous Waratahs, which used a zip. This was done in the name of weight savings, but should actually offer comparable performance. So who's it for? At 450 grams, packing down to 3.1 litres of volume, this is a super light and packable quilt that's perfect for anyone looking to lighten their load on those warmer hikes. In Sydney and surrounds where I'm based, I'd be looking to use this for at least 2 seasons and potentially even stretching it to a 3-season quilt when sticking to warmer areas around the coast. It'll also be a perfect layer to add on to a 3-season sleeping bag or quilt as an overquilt to increase the temperature in the high country or particularly cold winter trips. At approximately $340 AUD, depending on size, this is a super affordable option for what it is. If the above use case sounds like yours, then the Neve Gear Waratah UL 4-degree summer quilt could be the perfect option. Check it out on the Ultralight Gear website or come and see it for yourself in store.